Enchanted Relationships is a video series with relationship experts and husband and wife team Chip and Jan Chipman. In each episode, Chip and Jan will be answering common relationship questions that come up for singles and couples. In this episode, they discuss dealing with relationship problems, part 1.
Just to be clear, through the years, not every relationship has changed quickly as a result of encountering this understanding and this knowledge, some faster than others, and some, there have been a few that haven't worked out. I want to make that clear because really what you get, what you can expect, if you listen and hear something in this, is for you to have a more neutral and clear understanding of what's going on in your world. For you to be settled back enough to have clarity and remove yourself, your own self, from the reactivity of that environment or that relationship. That allows you to see clearly, if possible, how to move forward, but also to see clearly what you really need to do with your life. So it's your state of mind, your clarity, your insight that's critical in terms of the value of this. Yeah.
And as Chip, as you were saying that, I remembered to mention that this is an ongoing learning process. So it's not as if, like at the beginning, I knew everything would be okay, but I had to go back to day-to-day life and re-experience the usual, potential arguments and that kind of thing. And we still did have some parts of our relationships that weren't perfect, and we, to this day, there's still things where we don't see eye to eye, or the feeling is lost, and we one of us or both of us may feel uptight about something, but the beautiful part is it keeps getting better. Mm-hmm. So we keep learning and going deeper, but it's always moving in a good direction, because we know better than to go back into that feeling. I know better to go back into that feeling of the constant poor me, and I'm a victim, and it's all the world's fault, it's Chip's fault, it's whoever's fault. I know better than to do that. So if I ever do that, I know it won't last long. And so the more you just keep going back to that knowledge that not only have I got all that wisdom inside me, everybody in the world, I believe, is made up of that wisdom and that love. And so that's who I engage with more with people. I don't pay attention as much to people's behavior as I do to the fact that I know inside everybody is that same beauty that I have inside.
And that shows up in very common sense ways. This is a teaser, if you will. For instance, it's not that we don't get into disagreements occasionally. I mean, tiny fraction of what we did in the past. Mm-hmm. But we know something really interesting about that. And that is that we've learned that getting into a conversation about when we're both upset and we're both in a low state of mind never gets us to anywhere that we want to be. And so we've learned to be patient. And it's not like sticking your head in the sand. We've learned to be patient and wait until our feeling and our level of understanding rises, and then we'll talk about it. So we do talk about things, we do work through things, but we've learned that there's a state of mind where working through things really works, and another state of mind where it really doesn't. And that's been so valuable to us through the years.
And often what you thought would be something you needed to talk about will just go away.
Yeah, that's true. When you get into that positive state, sometimes you realize that the negative state of mind you were in was actually the problem, not this specific issue. Mm-hmm. But I love the fact that, and people have even said to us when we talk about going to a more positive state before we talk, isn't that avoidance? Isn't that, aren't you? And it's really not true, because it doesn't happen often, but every once in a while we go through something, and then we get that quiet state back, and we feel good, and we'll have a really good talk, and we'll discover things about each other, and we'll discover things about how we can shift the way we interact. And I love that. I think that's it's really based on what we both see us with wisdom and understanding and compassion, rather than what we both see when we're upset.
And if you'd like to hear more from Chip and Jan and meet them in person, visit enchanted-relationships.com/love to register for their new Enchanted Relationships program.